Download ODBets app na unaweza kujishindia hadi 50,000 bob kila siku.
We are living in a time where manipulation is everywhere. We are living in a time where manipulation and mind control is mainstream. So everywhere you turn, you'll notice forces that try to shape your psychology. You'll notice forces that try to manipulate you into thinking in a certain way, into viewing things from a certain perspective, into perceiving life as these forces wish and not as you will. So as we live in this age, we are witnessing one of the most fascinating times when it comes to manipulation, to mind control, and to brain games. So we are living in a time where we have forces through this advertising, through the gossips, through the media stations. We are having a society that is constantly intending to shape our psychology, our mentality, and our reasoning. So the aim...
It should show that if you can inject into the ad an element of story appeal, you do well. People read the ad. They look at that. They say, who is this man with an eye patch? That takes about a tenth of a second. Yeah. And they want that curiosity speak. So then they go under the picture and read the copy, and that's how you sell the shows.
So building in a little fantasy with the product.
Exactly so. It's easier said than done.
Or the end goal of these manipulation forces is to make us do as they will, is to make us flow by their will. So as we live in these times, we must be very careful about the things that enter our senses, because the things that we perceive ultimately end up shaping our psychology. The things that we are constantly exposed to end up shaping who we turn out to be, how we reason in future, how we perceive things in future. So the things that enter through our sensual gates, through our eyes, through our ears, through our senses, these things will end up shaping who we turn out to be, because most human beings function from their psychology. Most human beings function from that which is stored in their minds. So when that which is stored in your mind is corrupted.
And we need 2 Royco cubes because iron gives you strength to skuma yourself to be the best you can be.
Corrupted by these forces of manipulation, then these forces of manipulation end up shaping how one functions in this world. So when you function from your psychology, then that which enters into your mind through your senses will end up shaping how you reason, how you perceive reality, what your perspective will be in the future. So the things that we intake through our senses do not go in vain. Nothing you perceive will go in vain. Nothing you encounter and perceive in a deliberate way or in deliberate manner. Everything you perceive, with your consent or without, will ultimately end up shaping who you turn out to be in future. So your psychology is 100% determined by the things that enter your essential gates, the things that you perceive, the things that you witness through your senses. These things through your essential gates end up straight into your mind, into your psychology, into your mindset. So how you think in future, your future mindset, your future perspective will be determined by the things that you've constantly been exposed to. So we should be very careful about the movies we watch. About the music we listen to, about the people we surround ourselves with. When we surround ourselves with people filled with gossip, then we will end up turning into gossipers in future. We will end up turning into things that shaped us before. So how we act today is a byproduct of what has been entering through our senses into our minds. How we reason today is a byproduct of what has shaped us before. So our today points to what we have encountered in the past. Our today is a reflection of the past experiences that have shaped our perspectives. Our biases today tell of the things that informed us before. So the things that inform us today will shape how we turn out to be in future.
It should show that if you can inject into the ad an element of story appeal, you do well. People read the ad. They look at that. They say, who is this man with an eye patch? That takes about a tenth of a second.
Yeah.
And they want their curiosity speak. So then they go under the picture and read the copy, and that's how you sell the shirts.
So building in a little fantasy with the product.
Exactly so. It's easier said than done.
So our psychology, our reasoning, our perspective, our point of view is shaped by the things we constantly are exposed to. When you're exposed to a certain tribe for a very long time, then it will be even simple or possible for you to speak that language. When you're exposed to a certain religious practices, then it will be possible for you to practice and to identify with those religious practices. So the things that you are exposed to through your senses for the longest time, they end up shaping who you turn out to be. So keep off people who like gossiping because they might create a gossiper in you. Keep off people who like negative talks because they might create negativity within you. They might plant the seeds of negativity in your mind. Keep off people who like propaganda and lies and manipulation because they might end up planting the seeds of propaganda, the seeds of lies, the seeds of manipulation in you. So when you act as the manipulated one, when you act as that which is a byproduct of the forces that have intended deliberately pushed an agenda into your mind, then you are serving that which has conditioned you or has programmed you or has manipulated you. So when you speak informed by gossipers, when you speak informed by fake news and fake media, then what you speak is a representation of a false story. What you speak is a representation of that which deliberately fed you false news or false information, and so enslaved you through entering your mind. And now your mind expresses itself through your body or your mouth in speaking that which you had or you just acquired from some external force. So living in this age of manipulation, of mind control, we should be very careful about the things that we expose our senses to, because those things will end up shaping who we turn out to be. Just as we stayed in class for a very long time, since 4 years to like 18 years, exposing our senses to mathematics, to science, to English, to all these subjects, and now we can embody these things that we learned. We can do mathematics, we can speak or understand some English. This is a byproduct of the things that were exposed to our senses in our young years. So those things that we are exposed to don't go in vain, just as the things you are exposed to in school have not gone in vain. You can do mathematics, you can do calculation, you can understand the things that you were taught. You can at least have a basic understanding of the things that you are taught. This shows you that the things that you learn, the things that your senses are exposed to, find a place in your mind, and you can use them in future. You can refer to them in future. In the same way, the things that you expose yourself to today, those things will find a dwelling in your mind, and they will inform your future actions, just as the mathematics you learned in school informs how you do calculations, how you do calculations and understand mathematics. So what or how we act is a byproduct of what has informed our senses most. When you, for example, identify with the Christian religion, then this shows you that you've been exposed, or rather your senses have been exposed to the Christian norms for the longest time. When you identify with the Buddhist religion, then this shows you that your senses have been exposed to the Buddhist norms for the longest time. When you express yourself as a Kikuyu, then this shows you that the Kikuyu norms that your senses have been exposed to have shaped the Kikuyu you can speak. When you are exposed to the Amazulu traditions, then it will be possible for you to understand some Amazulu. When you are exposed to Ghanaian traditions for the longest time, then all you'll do is to live like a Ghanaian. All you'll do is act like a Ghanaian. So the things that we are fed in our minds do not go in vain.
Hey, hey. Nairobi mpango ni bottom up, kuanzia chini tukienda juu. Wanasema ni maombi, ni maombi, ni maombi, ni maombi. Nikisema ni maombi, unasema round 1. Ni maombi, ni maombi. Nikisema ni maombi, mchezo tunamaliza na round 1. Nairobi nikisema ni maombi, unasema round 1. Ni maombi, ni maombi, ni maombi. Wapi vigelegele, nderemo, shangwe na vifijo?
they shape our future actions. Advertising companies advertise their products and their sales increase. This shows you that what they push to the masses creates an effect in the sales, creates an effect on how customers will visit their shop or buy their products. So these advertising companies are the best proof that what enters your senses will ultimately shape who you turn out to be. These advertising companies can attest to the fact that manipulation is effective, and manipulation is a tool that has been constantly used to manipulate people to buy certain products. Manipulation is a trick that has been constantly been utilized to lure people into buying, into accepting certain products, certain ideologies, certain philosophies, certain opinions. So when you want to doubt these things that we are speaking, just confirm to the advertising companies, and they'll tell you that the more they advertise their products, the more they realize, or you will realize profits. So there is a correspondence, or there is a relationship between advertising and the product sales. So the more they advertise, the more they sell. The more they push their products into people's senses through the media, through the smartphones, through all these devices, the more they realize an increase in sales. This shows you that it begins as just watching, and it ends up in you buying that which you've watched. So these advertising forces can attest to this fact that what enters your senses does not go in vain. What enters your senses will ultimately end up shaping your future choices, will ultimately end up shaping your future opinions, your future perspective, and will end up shaping your personality of the future. So let's be very cautious and be very careful about the things that we expose our senses to, because what we expose our senses to will end up shaping who we turn out to be in future. So our future lies in what we expose ourselves to today. So our senses must be exposed to things that will create a wise future, a wiser future. Our senses should only be exposed to things that will create a healthier tomorrow. Our senses should be exposed to things that will make us better tomorrow. Our senses should be kept away from things that will corrode us, that will corrode our morals, that will corrode our behaviors, that will lead us into doing things that are harmful to ourselves and to the ecosystem at large. So what you perceive, what you are exposed to through your senses does not go in vain. It leaves a mark in your mind, and that which it leaves can end up shaping how you act in future. So until next time, peace.